Hi everyone. Alright, welcome to this space if you're new here, and welcome back if you're returning. Hi. Alright, so I decided to choose from the inner child cards. I've been really liking them. I almost gave them away. I didn't think I needed them, and I guess technically it's not a need, but it helps in the now. And it seems to be a creative storytelling, which is opening up new doors, right? So I chose just from the major arcana. Let's see what yours is. Oh, Snow White. We just read this story over on Patreon. Let's read it now. So this is number 9, which connects to the Fool. But this deck, the stories are a bit different. Comes right before Alice in Wonderland. What does it come after? Oh, Beauty and the Beast. Okay. So it's hidden within the fairy tale of Snow White and the Seven Dwarves is a major lesson concerning service to humanity and the utilization of wise discrimination. Just before Snow White is born, her mother is sewing and pricks herself with a needle. As the blood flows, she wishes for a child with lips as red as blood, skin as white as snow, and hair as black as ebony. Snow White soon comes into the world, her wish granted, but her mother dies during the birth. Snow White's stepmother is a beautiful but wicked, vain, and jealous queen. She asks the magic mirror, symbolizing the search for perfect beauty, "Who is the fairest in the land?" To which the mirror replies, "Snow White." The queen becomes so angry that she ordered a huntsman to kill Snow White and to bring her back, to her heart as proof of the deed. The huntsman, representing humanity, mortality, and humility, has compassion for the young girl, lets her go, and brings back the heart of a young animal for the stepmother. Snow White, at 7 years of age, alone in the forest, is seeking shelter and protection. She is on a symbolic wisdom pilgrimage. She finds a small cottage with 7 beds and 7 bowls, the number 7 signifying a major spiritual transition. When the dwarves find her after working all day in the diamond mines, she is fast asleep in one of their beds. The dwarves, which can also be seen as gnomes, represent earthly wisdom, the inner light shining from within the depths. Snow White begins to grow into her higher wisdom by taking care of the gnomes, cleaning their house, and making their meals for them. The wicked queen finds out that Snow White is still alive by asking the magic mirror again, "Who is the fairest in the land?" And over the years, the stepmother tries to kill Snow White 3 more times. The first time, disguised as a merchant selling lace, the queen gives some material to Snow White, who pulls it too tight around her waist. She faints due to a restriction of her breathing and life within her spirit. However, she is found by the gnomes, who revive her. In the second encounter, the stepmother transforms herself into a woman selling combs. Snow White is tricked again and buys one, poisoning her head and scalp, representing the ego identity, The gnomes rescue her once again. In the third experience, the stepmother changes herself into an old woman selling apples that she had secretly poisoned. She should have kind of known better than to keep on going with this, right? But she did. It's all an experience. In this third experience, Snow White, still lacking in wise discrimination, takes a bite of the poisoned apple and appears to fall dead. Actually, she falls into a deep coma from which the gnomes cannot revive her. The earthly wisdom has run its course, and Snow White is ready for her final initiation. She cannot stay in the cottage, representing darkness, or in the shadow forever. So the gnomes place her in a glass coffin where the light streaming through the forest can illuminate her body, heart, and soul. She needs to come into the light. Her inner service, dutiful work, cleaning, nurturing others, being humble, has been completed. The prince arrives. He picks her up and takes her to his horse, and as he carries her, the piece of poisoned apple is dislodged from her throat. This is a symbolic clearing of the throat chakra and an empowerment of Snow White's primal wisdom. United with her animus, the prince, she becomes crowned in these higher chakras in wholeness and in light. Through the pilgrimage and odyssey of Snow White, we learn about becoming whole when the aspects of the soul life and the personality are fused. Hello, bird. Fused and integrated. Living in an isolated or separated state will not bring happiness and content. The active work we are called to do in this life is only partially physical, emotional, and mental. There is also our soul work, in essence, our service to humanity. The opportunity and the challenge to be a light in the world. When this card appears, you may be at a critical point in your journey towards spiritual enlightenment. Reflect on your recent travels, studies, and interpersonal relationships. Be discriminating in your choice of business associates as well as personal companions. Let your earthly life mirror your soul's longing to be of service to humanity and to all the kingdoms of nature. Banish those aspects of yourself that are petty, vindictive, and harmful to others. Allow your words, heartfelt love, and understanding to form an inner radiant light that can heal friends, relatives, and the greater community. Wow. The story also represents overcoming abandonment, right? The death of a parent, death in general, new homes. There's a lot going on in this story. There's help. Comes in many forms. I guess with the prince finding her at the end, this is also relationally speaking. Learning to speak one's truth, good discernment. I like this. I like this. So there's some place in a person where they've also been taking a lot of time introspectively, or even in an isolated, sort of closed-off, hermit-like top of the mountain way. And I would say, again, at this point now, it is time to come out into the world. Okay. Let's see presently how this is. Oh, fascinating. Oh, but how do we trust? Right, we've been fooled before. Snow White had been fooled before, right? 3 times. She always continued to trust, though, right? But that wise discrimination, that wise the wisdom with the awareness. Because you can come to trust yourself, right? That's easy. A person, you can disappoint yourself, but it's easier, I guess, to... Why do we become disappointed with other people? Why do you become disappointed with other people when you do? Right? Like, I forget which poet said it, but it said something, he said something along the lines of like, if you never want to receive any pain, or, then he says, don't love. You know, there was something in that poem where it was like, pick up a hobby and spend a lot of time by yourself, and you can protect yourself, I guess, from pain, to an extent. But the depths of love and being a human in this life is about learning. So again, I see in this present point, it's very important to have wise discernment, right? From the previous experiences. Okay, you know, it's not like Snow White couldn't take something that was offered. But was Snow White out looking for a comb, looking for an apple, looking for this? No, it just showed up and was like, do you want this? Right? Then she decided. It wasn't actually on her path. It came onto her path. So there's something too much. Well, there's indications when it's not in line, when it's not true. Okay, so there's this I see there's a fine line between trusting and then discernment. Oh, there's a good attitude about it right now, though. Oh, someone's so ready for something. They're so ready for something. Or they're readying themselves for something, right? It could be Snow White finally, like, someone wakes up. And then it's like going into these new worlds again, and a lot of the outside world is going to shift with that. But I actually see a lot of vulnerability still, which is good. It's not like where there's this big blockage, like someone's too afraid. I mean, there could be a part of something where it's like, do I, can I? But deep in the soul, it's like, I believe. And I know now that I'm ready. Like, because someone had to be in this position for a while to be able to see what they could see. What they can see now. They had to learn something. And it came... Sorry. No, I guess I had to come through compassion. Let's see what you were building, like, a while back. Like, what's the foundation with that? Oh, someone was dredging something. Letting out letting out the emotions of something. Finally decided to give a little bit to themselves to, okay, this is this time frame, right? But so, well, I heard I saw someone slicing something. Okay, so there had been a lot of emotional release in the past too, which is very helpful. Again, I see like a dredging of something. It like gets it gets way down to the bottom. And that only came from figuring out like something about within one's self. Right back up into that hermit. What have you been building more recently, foundationally? Oh, building. How do I explain that? Oh, someone overcame a fear by using it. It goes back into that throat chakra thing, like when the prince picked her up and like that piece flew out of her. It's like it was something that became a part of her because something became a part of someone because of like deceit or naivete, you know, ignorance, things of this nature. It's like someone didn't know, they didn't think ahead, so it became a part of them. But then now there's awareness around that, and again, I guess someone needs someone else to help them dislodge something. Maybe that's why the hermit has to come out of, like, down off the mountain and start interacting, because the next step or stage of the situation is help within this. And I guess these are also relationships that are trusting. You know, the prince wasn't just like, she's dead, forget about her. You know, he was just like, well, I guess someone knew in their heart that something was true. Huh. Feel like the environment is good, right? There's lots of support there. I actually see, this is your reading. I see you being a very positive influence, especially because of this prior learning or whatever has been being worked through. I heard the world needs you, whatever that means. Like, because again, Snow White never lost love. I mean, did she need to be a bit more discriminating sometimes of again, the fine line between truth and illusion? Yes. Due to previous experiences, just being conscious. She's young, Snow White. She was there when she was 7. She's a child, right? None of us are 7 now. Maybe something happened. What happened when you were 7? I also see something around the age of 5. I guess this is also... This process has been going on for like... Well, I see it goes up to the number 5, and then where a person is right now in their awareness is number 6. And this, to me, represents what I'm seeing is faith and purity and awareness that maybe wasn't had before. That there's like this guidepost, or like this guiding way. What's going on in the inner emotions? Oh, the heart's opening up so much. Good. Good. And there's a difference in the heart now between well, I guess we always feel like a fool in love some way, somehow and through our life. Right? Everybody plays the fool. It's like, yeah, okay, that's happened. But now Snow White gets it, is what I see. Okay, I want to look at the outcome. All right, moving forward, whole new mindset too. Oh, there's such a good truth about someone's insecurity or a place in them. It's almost like I'm seeing the 5 of Pentacles as the lodged piece of poison apple, right? That part of us, the part of someone that like doesn't believe they're good enough because of their past, or it's like someone just, but there's something so deeply shifting about that. Because someone was finally honest and they needed this quiet time. So I guess in this time frame, please take some quiet to really see what's going on in your heart, because you could be you can also dislodge things for yourself. This comes where the help, the prince, is like the prince of peace. It's like spirit comes in. It's like, I'll hold you. I'll help you. I'll hold. I see again. I'll hold you. Like, you won't fall. I heard I'll help you down out of that tree. How are you focusing? How's the goal being? Oh, the goal is so good. The focus, the destiny of this. Oh, this could be the most beautiful relationship for some of you. Maybe just even believing in relationships. I mean, look what happened to Snow White. Her mother died. No one ever talked about her father. I mean, I guess he had to be around some way, somehow, but the stepmother became the... Right, there was a mismanaging of, like, roles and what had came before, and there was a lack of respect, right? But I suppose it all happened for good reason, because what's the future looking like? Hermit. Interesting. What's that? What's going on with that? Oh, some of you could be on either end of this. There's like two ends of this. Some are beginning this journey. Some are heading towards this journey. And I suppose because of the story that came out about being of service to others, how are you that in your life? You know, whatever your job, your friendships, your relationships, I see that which exists now and that which whatever was. It's readjusting trust and truth. And again, because once one figures out the voice, again, that throat chakra, which I guess is one way that a person can express their knowing or their belief or their truth. It doesn't have to come through that way, but this is one of the ways humans do it, right? It's one way of learning. Just a second. Aries, Six of Wands. Someone's in there's such good energy around this. But I guess it depends on how the level of goodness, or at the very least how it's comprehended. The situation's comprehended. It depends on how much this queen of water has like released and gone within themselves. Because I suppose part of learning the lesson is understanding that which poisoned us in the past, the poisoned one in the past, sometimes we receive a poison to dislodge something else. Like, and that's where it gets tricky again, because it's like, all right, this helps this, and helped that part that's no longer needed, like, again, be dislodged, be removed from a person that's no longer needed, then, but there's something else that kind of takes that place. And so I suppose some have to go into... This is going deep into the heart. I heard the song, I want to know what love is. Like, I want you to show me. And because we're using inner child cards, it very well could be a part of that too. That's a part of this story. I heard who loves you wholly. And I see the games people play, the games children play. And I heard there's a lot of opportunity. But I suppose whatever has felt like whatever is isolating or stuck, yeah. Well, there's a resolve for that. What's the truth in other people, too? Like, how do you... Right, Snow White trusted the gnomes. She trusted herself. She trusted other people. There's a lot of trust with her. So now the lesson, I guess, again, and I guess it depends where you are on the path, is trust is the biggest focus here. And again, contemplation into the heart space of I heard what it means to love the world. Which I suppose is love in you and... Huh. Let me split and see one more message. What's this about? Well, I heard someone say, I can do it. I can do it. The world needs your clarity. The world needs your clarity. Huh. Alright. Trippy. You know, she had everything she needed too. She has everything she needs. This person here. But I suppose with shifting, right? Because the gnomes became... The gnomes in that cottage became her home. But now she's meant to step out. Right? And some of you, I see you're stepping in. And away from that which... Well, I guess what is stepped into and out of is a choice. Yeah. Leo, Aquarius, here's what I know in my heart. Huh. This also goes from the inner child all the way to the adult. And both pure, right? It's great purity here. There's like a gift of love, or like a gift from the stars, because of someone's understanding on how to give and to be of service. There's those sixes I saw earlier, which actually creates great abundance in this physical world too. It's spiritual abundance and it's physical abundance. It's comfortable. And I see someone like making their way, like making a path, clearing a path. You know, because they'd been in that cottage for a while. You're going to have to get out of the forest, right? So remember, you have here's your sword. You can do it. You have the tools you need. And what's on the other side when you get there? Two of Cups. Part of the reason you have to process this is because right now there could be something about being prepared emotionally for the opportunities that will be in the future. Ace of Pentacles, Ten of Cups. And apparently a person picks it up and finds some kind of, there's such genuine love in this. And there's something about feeling deserving, because with that, all that Virgo energy, sometimes it can deny itself comfort or support, even sometimes. Love. Yeah. But now the Hermit's thinking about love. It's like Virgo and Pisces are coming together better. In a different way. Okay. That's the end of that. I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you also, anyone who... There was a bunch of people who planted some seeds in the garden over on Patreon. I hope you've been enjoying it. It's a pleasure to connect, however that is, but I just wanted to say an extra thanks. And, yeah, those of you who have been there for a while, always, of course, a pleasure. Enjoy your time in this time, and happiest now whenever you find this, and I'll talk to you next time. Peace out.